Hiya, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today, we're going to be talking about the brand new event, Shadow of the Ancients. Now, first things first, as things tend to be, the quest is incredibly straightforward. Just follow all the tips and the tutorials and etc., and you'll be able to easily bang this thing out. No curveballs ahead, except for the requirements of needing some Electro character, but hopefully at least have one of those. If you don't, you at least have the Inazuma main traveler. Anyways, but that will be probably harder than what everyone else is probably going to have who've been playing for a long time, which is Fischl, because you're going to need to constantly output Electro, kind of. The events are scaled down, so not that hard, you should be fine. Anyway, so the first part of the event is pretty simple. It is a glorified treasure hunt. You get a little Mechanicus doodad thing, you place it on the ground, it will point in a direction, and you head towards the direction, you pop it once again, and it will tell you if you're in the right spots. Now, oh my god, little tiny tangent. Holy shit, my guy. It is brutal. That thing, it needs to be on top. I am like an inch away, and it's like, no. It could be a million miles that way. So then you go like 4 feet the other way, and then it's backwards. So it's just in this weird it's a whole thing. Just a tiny little nitpick. It's not a lot of content gets right now, so we're just kind of, the slightest inconvenience turns into a monstrous inconvenience. Anywho, sorry. But as you progress, you'll unlock some chests, you'll fight some enemies, and you'll unlock kind of a tablet stone thing, which is going to affect you on day 2, which by the time you're seeing this, you'll probably have access to day 3, and I really hope they finally give us a repeatable, constant event, which I think there are. Anywho, another side tangent, forgive me for being this way. I genuinely want your opinion on this, okay? Do you read all of the story? Or are you like me, and you're interested in the first little bit because you're like, ooh, piece of candy, new event, and then they just start going back and forth with the dialogue, being like, oh, golly gee willikers, did I ever goof? And then it's just this back and forth of like, yeah, it's okay to make mistakes. All just not important to what you're doing. I just tune out. I made it halfway, and I just started button mashing. I apologize. I know it probably took a long time to make. It's just like, Jesus Christ. It's too much, especially when it's not voiced. I just burn out like a phoenix, except I don't come back stronger. I come back more betrayed. Part 2, or day 2, of this event is where it is. This is something I wish we had more of in the game that scales off of difficulty. So essentially, the game mode is simple. There are 3 tablets that need to be charged with Electro. There are going to be enemies that come in waves to each of the tablets to actually give you some sort of challenge. And each tablet has a health bar, so it's about protecting the tablets and keeping them charged. This, to me, is something that I really wish MiHoYo would actually ramp up and amplify this game mode. Again, I talked to you guys about this on stream, but I dislike, with a bloody passion, the time negation aspect of certain things. I find it rushed, I find it incentivizes only one type of build or playstyle, and it leaves everyone else who has more unique or different enjoyment of the game kind of stuck in this kind of mess. Whereas I'd much rather anything that's not a time trial, frankly. In this game mode, kind of is still a time trial, but at least it's not that bad. As long as you keep 1 or 2 of the things fully charged, you're going to be good to go. But say if they maybe threw more enemies at you, or maybe they gave you certain mechanics or certain advantages to pull in this game mode that would bring them closer together, that would maybe give them a Centurion, that would give them a buff or more defense on one but not the other, and all that kind of stuff. I think that could be really fun. And again, this is just the poison of my mind, but I'm very much hoping for endgame content relatively soon. So again, if MiHoYo is listening to this, then the smallest fragmented chance that they're hearing this. Although I think I like the roguelike style dungeon that we just had more, but nevertheless, this is a fun game mode, very interesting. I'm hoping and pleading that the second half or the third part of this event will be one of the things that we used to have back in the day, if you guys remember, where you had a bunch of kind of run-up events and then this final boss or activity that it required you could play co-op and you could help each other go through the encounter. Stuff like that would be absolutely amazing, and I'm hopeful for that to happen. But we'll see. Unfortunately, right now, as of recording, I'm only on day 2. So hopefully day 3 is something that we can actually come together in a stream and help people get pushed through this encounter if they are just getting into the game. And I'm here, back again. Sorry, we were winding down. Forgive me. Okay, so one more quick thing that I had to tell you about is the previous awesome roguelike dungeon. I don't know what they meant by roguelike. I heard people say that it was kind of like that, and I just feel like that's super not what it was. But anyways, yeah, it was just like a dungeon crawler, basically, where you could get buffs. It's not very roguelike, to be honest. It would make sense if they gave you a finite, like, enemies you had to play, or characters you had to play, but no go. Anywho, my dude, how did you feel about it? I loved it to bits, and contrary to what we were hearing, the last couple of floors to the event were actually pretty insane. And it's funny how the community kind of reacts this way, and I think it's good to some extent, although it'd be cool if, and I'm guilty of this too, but it's not the core of the problem, it's a symptom of it. So people, when they eventually did have a challenging aspect of the dungeon finally rear its head, a new problem arise, or I think the true core of the problem, which is the thing that I've been saying since the beginning of time in this game, which is it's not about difficulty necessarily, it's also not about leaks or whatever, it's about things to do and reasons to do them. And there's sometimes the events offer a thing to do, but there's not a lot of reasons to do them, and it doesn't take a lot to add incentive is the thing as well. Some people are asking for armors. I would just be happy with like a lot of heroes wit, which there is, and that to me is also good. I don't think you should gatekeep primo gems. I hear people throw that around where like maybe for completing the hardest tier of it, you should get primo gems. I think that's silly, because we can all agree that Genshin is just a time game, and you're functionally lessening the other people's ability to get access into the game by getting good characters with those primo gems, and also experiencing what also people agree with, which is the idea that there is no content in this game, and characters are, in more than one way, content, unfortunately, you know? So yeah, I think again, the problem is needing things to do, and wait for it, reasons to do them. Again, I do think it should just be an additive and not like a needed thing. Like primo gems I think are needed in order to enjoy the game. And lastly, okay, dude, okay. Sometimes I get so in my head and I just stop. Anyways, man, when I was listening to the story unravel, I was getting more and more hyped. I was like, come on, baby, here we go. They're talking about a dungeon that is meant to like foster power and skill and train. Here's a guy who has godlike power who made this dungeon to achieve this purpose, but he got quick fixed by a god. But this little tiny guy who we're following around with is like, no, I will achieve my purpose and my motivation to garner skill and to keep improving and to increase my knowledge of skill, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, here we go, baby, here we go. They're gonna drop it on us. It's gonna be a constant thing. It's gonna stay here forever. And then at the last minute, in like when you talk to the one little hover clip out guy, he says, yeah, so it needs to regenerate more energy before it can kind of do it again. And I was like, you son of a bitch. And you know, it was like everything in the story was like hinting at like, this is your dojo, baby, you better get ready to jump in here every week and kill shit. And then no, nothing, it's the worst. Made me so sad. Oh guys, hopefully in 2.3 we are going to get some end game content, just one. In Moya would have to be deaf in order to not get that, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it even a shred as much as I did, and also let me know if you didn't. Love to hear from you either way. Alas, my friends, hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your day. And here's just a quick little update video and a quick little summary of what the event is to tell you, hey, the event's live. Go play it. Enjoy it to your heart's content. And also a little side tangent. Sayu is amazing, dude. I barely have her built. And I'm loving it to pieces. I know Toma is a thing right now, but for your boy, Toma does not fit yet into any of my teams, because if they ever release a cryo character, he might, but Toma is kind of like a poor man's Zhongli at the end of the day, unless you have a high-hitting Claymore user, or sorry, a DPS that uses Cry or Vaporize. And yeah, as much as Tartaglia kind of works, not really. Because Tartaglia actually, I think, beats Toma's crazy application of an element. So you'll be detonating with the fire of Toma's little poof. But if they ever release a Claymore, a Cryo character or Water Claymore character, that is going to be huge. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Expect some Sayu videos, and I might upload that Toma video, which breaks him down a little bit. And also, if you have some extra time, swing by the streams. We stream every single day, except for Monday and Wednesday. And we stream at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, playing all kinds of games. In fact, we may make some Genshin-specific kind of streams, and even showcasing some of your guys' OP builds and or characters that you built up to the highest possible points, which I'm excited for. But anyways, hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.